Are you working too hard? In the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you three things around balance, season, and space. And before I do that, I've got a couple wins to share. Number one is check out this phenomenal place. This is my family lake. I have come out here every single year since actually before I was even born, when I was in my mother's womb. It was the first time I ever came out here. And our family owns a pretty large property here, and so we've been just coming back and back and back every single year, so it's a special place. And also, I was scheduled to leave today, and literally had my stuff packed up and was about to jump in the car to head home when I looked at my calendar for tomorrow and realized, hey, I have one phone meeting and that's it. So there was no reason I couldn't take the call from here and let my engine room run while I'm out here doing some just kind of space and reflection type work. So nice to have that flexibility from time to time. So let's talk about this idea of working too hard. So the three things: balance, seasons, and space. So first of all, I think that the idea of balance is misrepresented in a lot of the common literature and pop culture. I think that there's this idea that there's one version of balance. There's this idea that there's like one ideal that we should all be working towards, and I think that's false. I think that I think the truth is that we all have our own version of balance, and I think it's more about finding that for ourselves and honoring it more so than trying to conform to some ideal. So that's my very first thing. Is I know that I enjoy my version of balance, and other people might think that it's way off. So I'm giving you permission to say screw others and just live your version of balance, and you'll be just fine, right? So that's balance. Secondly, there are seasons, I believe, in business. There's seasons to sow, there's seasons to rest, there's seasons to reap, and there's seasons to reflect. And I think that anytime that we're in the beginning of a business, so literally the very beginning of a business, working a ton is actually, it's really important for two reasons. One is it allows you to survive. And oftentimes the beginning of business is less about playing the game to win the game, and it's literally just a matter of playing the game to survive and stay in the game long enough so that maybe one day you can win the game. And the second reason to work a ton, I think, in the beginning of a business is it accelerates your learning. It accelerates your learning on what the market wants, what the market thinks of your business, what customers are saying, and also how things run inside of your own company, just what's the best way to do things. And that takes just some time and oftentimes some frontline experience to learn firsthand what the deal is. So that's one time that I think it makes a lot of sense to invest above average volumes of time. And the other time is any time in any size of business with any level of maturity is anytime we're doing something new. So perhaps we're opening a second location, perhaps we are introducing a new product, and perhaps you want to double the size of your team. And those are times when you really need to put some front-end energy in to figure out what is it that we're doing here and to provide some leadership. And then from there, maybe you put in the first 10% of the project, this new project, whatever it may be. And then after that, you let the team take care of the middle 80%, and then you review the last 10% or something like that, so that the team has what they need to go and do what they need to do. So anytime you're in that kind of like new growth phase or trying to bump up to the next level, when you're not really in the maintenance of things, when you're more in that kind of aggressive growth mode, then that's another time when putting in more time is really valuable and I think really important, and maybe what balance means to you in those times is different. The third and final factor I want to put on the table here is this idea of space. If you have ever been in the shower and gotten just a phenomenal idea, or walking your dog, watering the plants, going for a walk, being in a place like this, it's because that's when the big ideas and the innovative solutions generally come. It's not when we're pushing. It's usually when we actually let our foot off the gas and create space. And as your business has grown, your business needs you more and more to be doing that bigger and bigger picture thinking. At one point, it was appropriate for you to be on the front lines all the time. And now that you're much further into your business, I think it's really crucial. In fact, it's almost like non-negotiable that you do higher level thinking, solving bigger problems. And to do that, you need space like this. Now, make no mistake, having space to think and get perspective is not just for people with big businesses. I think people of any business size, every 90 days, need to get a chance to get some perspective, to reflect, and to innovate. And I'm not even talking some exercise you need to do. I mean, literally just go to the lake for 2 days, stare at the fire, chop wood. Before enlightenment, chop wood. After enlightenment, chop wood. And just give yourself the gift of that space. When I personally give myself space, I like for at least one of two things to happen. So first of all, I always like it to be in a different city as much as possible, which then removes the triggers and reminders and the temptations to get back into the front lines of business. So once I'm out of the city, I'd like one of two things to happen. I'd like to either be in nature, just as I'm here. As you can see, it's gorgeous, gorgeous nature. Or I'd like to be in another city where I can experience new things, and usually something to do with art. When I was in New York City most recently, I made sure to go to Carnegie Hall to see and hear the New York Pops Orchestra. And I also took in a Broadway play. I took in Wicked at the Gershwin Theater. So it's like there's something about arts and culture and also about nature that really, to me, just stimulates me in new and exciting ways and allows me to get newfound perspective. So I think, just to wrap it all up is to say, I think balance is an individual pursuit. There's no one ideal. Secondly, I think that you need to be mindful of what season your business is in, and seasons go in cycles. And thirdly, irrespective of your season, is to really systematically put yourself in a position to be able to have space. And I think every 90 days, and I understand maybe for you it's more often or less often, but for me there's something about 90 days, at least once per 90 days, that I get space, that it makes a huge, huge, huge difference for me. And I've been doing this for years now, probably 4 or 5 years now. Every 90 days I'll take space like this. So it's really changed my business for the better, and I feel just as a human being, I feel just better and more capable of doing what I need to do. If you found this to be helpful and you're curious in getting more videos like this, consider subscribing if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're checking this out anywhere else, head over to profitfactory.com. We have tons of amazing tools to help you build your business into whatever extraordinary means to you. And if you do nothing else out of this video, I want you to look at your calendar and pick the next time you're going to give yourself space. So maybe that's 90 days from now, or maybe it's this weekend, whatever you need. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And if you're feeling, like you'd like extra credit, in the comments below, go ahead and leave a few comments on what the best ways are that you find to create space for you in your life so that you can be everything that you want to be for everyone that you want to make an impact on. See you in the next video.